What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another video. The other night I was doing this video of unboxings, and I had several boxes that I came in with, and when I unboxed the one I realized that it was indeed a slab. I made this rant and oh, that's right, you never saw this video. Well, that's because my camera messed up after I shot the video, and I said hook it, these are all going in. Trust me, they were all great comics, and it was entirely funny and all that kind of good stuff. But I did want to come back and create another video regarding the slab that came in on the aforementioned deleted video haul. And that was a slab from CGC. Now, I don't want to be guilty of just doing random rant videos where I just dog one company or another out, because we're all human, we all make mistakes. Okay, so this is not what this is intended to be. I have many CGC slabs. I've got more CGC slabs than I have of the other companies. I plan on more than likely to submit things to CGC in the future. I know that people have had trouble with CGC before regarding customer service, and before I have always been more than fair in stating, hey, I've not had any problems with CGC. They're quick to answer the phone, they're more than friendly in their customer service. Well, all of that has changed now. So let's back up and tell this story. So when I first got back into collecting, I didn't know anything about submitting comics, and so I submitted this book. I shouldn't have in the first place. Truth be told, when I bought this book, and for what I bought this book for, raw, I should have just went ahead and bought the 5.0 copy that was already slabbed, presented great, that the comic shop had for the price that they had it for, and I would have been better off. But hindsight's always 20/20. So in October of last year, I visited a Comic Con called Memphis Comic Expo in Memphis, Tennessee. I saw a lot of creators there: Chris Claremont, Peter David, Scott Snyder, among others, that I got a bunch of books signed. And so there was a CGC facilitator there, and so I submitted a bunch of books to CGC at that time. Most of them were signed, and there were some that were not, and there was one book, which is this one, that needed pressed. Well, that was in October of last year. Yeah, that's right. At the time of this recording, we're in the end of April of 2020. Several months passed. Now, I have already received all the books that did not get pressed or cleaned from CGC. I got the one set of books that were the older books, and then all the other CGC Signature Series books. I've gotten them in two separate packages, but I've already got them. This was the only one that I was waiting on. Last time I contacted CGC, they said that it was up for grading, but they didn't have the grade yet, and so I was kind of surprised when I came home the other night to find that this box was here. So I opened it up and was more surprised by what I found on the notes on this particular book. Now, some of you that are X-Men fans will probably recognize this as X-Men 58, which is the first appearance of Havoc, Neil Adams classic cover. And I did not hide the grade. It's a 1.8. Now, truth be told, I did not expect this book to be much more than a 2. Okay, but with the press, I was kind of on the iffy, because there were some issues down here that you can kind of see. All this was kind of dog-eared up, so they bent it all back down. I did not know how well that was going to make the grade bump up, but in no way did I suggest that it was going to be a 9.8 candidate. Okay, so it ended up being a 1.8. And you say, Jason, you said that you thought it probably was a 2, maybe 2 or 3, depending on what the press did for it. And so it's a 1.8. So what's the problem? Here's my problem right here. Cover detached. You see, when I purchased this comic and I sent it to CGC, the cover was not detached. Okay. So upon getting that, I contacted CGC and said, hey, look, just got my comic in from this certain date. Yeah, I was digging at them because it took them so long. But hey, look, the cover is showing detached. That cover was not detached when I submitted it. Now, they come back and said, hey, we have a team of graders that looks at this. We cannot help what happens in shipping your comic to us. So, what they're implying is that the cover became detached from the time that it got shipped to the time that it got to them. That is so much bullcrap. I emailed them back and I said, how in the world do you think that a cover became detached from when it was in a cover? Okay, nobody took it out except for you. And talking about you being having a team of graders, I don't know if you know this, but there's this little thing called YouTube where people put out there how undelicate you can be within your grading process. So don't give me that crap. I said I told them then that I was more than an advocate for CGC, that I went and said, hey, these are my good experiences with them. For you to come back, and I told them, I said, hey, look, I understand that people make mistakes. You know, you handling the book, the cover comes detached. But don't give me this crap by playing it off on something else. Own up to it and do something about it. I'm not wanting them to give me a full refund or anything to that nature. I don't want them to buy me a 9.8 version of something. So I'm not being, I don't feel like, if you feel differently, put your comments in the video below, but I don't feel like I'm being unreasonable in this. Because let me share with you my experience with another company that has not gotten as much love as CGC does. Everybody loves CGC. Their cases present well, their labels look great. Now they got these character labels, so on and so forth. Okay, everybody loves CGC. Well, there's another company that's kind of the redhead freckle-faced stepchild of the grading community, and that's Pgx. Now, if you watch my videos at random, you notice that I had an issue with Pgx and a hair inside their comic. But after a bunch of emails were exchanged back and forth, I know that they're a smaller organization and it takes longer for them to get answers back on stuff than it does with CGC. So see, hence I'm being fair in this comparison. But once we got on the phone to talk about the issue, they fixed it. And so I sent the slab back to them. There was a hair that was in between the slab and the case and the inside. And I sent it back to them and they fixed it. And you know, furthermore, they gave me another slab. They said, put another book in there that you want graded and we'll fix it. You know what else? I put a book in there that not only needed graded, but needed pressed and a signature verification, and they still did it for free. All of that. You know what? That's good customer service. You know, being a good company and having good customer service is not about not making mistakes. It's about what you do when you do make the mistakes, because the mistakes are going to happen, you know. So it's about owning up to it and saying, what can I do to fix it? And I know that sometimes when you do that, you set yourself up because some customers come back and they won't have unreasonable demands. I get that. But I'm not one of those customers. I fully understand that there are reasonable demands, things that they could do. You know, what they could have easily done had said, Jason, the difference between that book being having a cover detached and not being detached is a 2.5. And based on our research, a 2.5 versus a 1.8 is the difference of $20 or $10. So Jason, what we're going to do is we're going to issue you a refund of $10 or $10 off your next CGC order. We're sorry for the inconvenience. Here you go. What is $10? That's all they had to do. And I would have been perfectly happy because, truth be told, I'll probably upgrade this comic at some point in time. It's a part of the Uncanny X-Men family right now, but truth be told, I'll probably end up upgrading this comic and getting a new one and, you know, auctioning this one off or sending it out to someone in the community or whatever. So everything would be fine. But the way they handled it and the way when they came back because the second email I sent in response to their first one, they never sent another one. So the after I sent that second email, which was a response to their first one, they never sent me a response back. That's poor customer service, CGC. I don't care how busy you are. That's poor customer service. You declared yourself to be an essential business to continue to carry on. That's great and that's fine, but you should also have essential to your business, and that's the customer service aspect of things. Don't think yourself too high, because when a man thinketh himself to stand, take heed lest he fall. Now, that's a biblical principle for people, but that's also a principle for businesses. Because CGC, although right now you have the top loft, that does not mean you will always have the top loft. You get enough of irate customers out there, you get enough of these other grading companies that band together and figure out how to do in-house signings and figure out how to have better cases and figure out how to do all these other things, you will see your market share decline. And rightfully so. So, this video is really more than anything else just a way for me to vent, to tell you, the community that watches videos of mine like this, to tell you what my experiences have been. I feel like I have been more than fair, telling the good side and the bad side. This video is not intended for CGC to make some kind of new decoration for me, or for anybody to feel sorry for me. It's just one of those things, right? So that is that. I wanted to put that out there, and then also give a good plug to Pgx, one of their competitors, at the same time. So want to say thank you, whether you are at home because you want to be or because you're made to be. Regardless, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button so that when I drop other videos like this, that I'm usually a lot more nice and jovial than what I have been on this one, then you can get to be one of the first people to watch those videos. I do hope that you are all staying safe, maybe getting caught up on reading your comics, and until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.